syrup can be ringing until your back and arms ache. Get the roll. If you don't agree, it's the convenient mop and waxer you've ever used. Simply call the manufacturer for full refund. New Clean Right refill heads will fit the original Roll-O-Matic.
Available at these fine
Earth Day 80 will be celebrated Monday and Tuesday at the
of Good Practice identifies WOWT as a subscriber in good standing to the television code of the National Association of Broadcasters. It identifies to present advertising in accordance with the code's recommended standards of the It sees too that WOWT recognizes the need for medical care and the presentation of children's programming, and that a regular schedule of religious programs is a part of our responsibility to the community. Accurate, unbiased news reporting at convenient viewing hours is the service of entertainment, education, and information. Transmitter
Spend a day to remember at the fascinating Stewart Museum. Relive Nebraska's colorful past as you climb aboard the old steam train for a nostalgic ride across the bridge. Stroll the boardwalks of the 20th century railroad town, where sights and sounds of yesteryear create a living, breathing history book. All this and more to see and enjoy at the Stewart Museum of the Prairie Pioneer, south of Grand Island, Nebraska. Spend a day to remember.
Channel 6, WOWT in Omaha.
Calendar events. The public is invited to attend Head Start's second annual Children's Carnival on Saturday, June 5th from noon to 7 p.m. at 31st and Parker Streets. Children and adults will enjoy carnival rides, games, and refreshments. Tickets will be $5 or $1 donation. A parade will precede the carnival at 9 a.m. from the Lake Charles Center. Saturday, June 5th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Bellevue West High School, and admission is free. A non-profit support group for free, but support children being with their children courtesans is without a cut group hold meetings twice located. Meetings place 289. Some of the children at the age 4 different types, especially for the children. Call the YWC. Here's the month. You see, the mother for usual of yeah. The
For panels, you order strong.
All island is
time, he must be a communist. But there are other communists who don't show their real faces, who work more silently. In recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If he openly declares himself to be a communist, we take his word for it. If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in the communist publications, he may be a communist. If a person supports organizations which reflect communist teachings, or organizations labeled communist by the Department of Justice, she may be a communist. If a person defends the activities of communist nations while consistently attacking the domestic and foreign policy of the United States, she may be a communist. If a person does all these things over a period of time, he must be a communist. Other communists, but there are other for a physical appearance of communism. His word for it. Reads and advocates. He reads and supports organizations labeled communist. He be a communist in the United States and its nations while he defends the activity of communists by the person supports organizations that reflect communist teaching. She may be a communist. Declares himself to count for nothing. There are other communists. If he openly did word for it, he defends the activity in the communist publication. He may organizations which reflect justice for communists. He may be a communist. If a person is by the Department of Domestic and Foreign who were communist, recognizing a communist, but there are does all these, defends the activities of does all these, who don't show our other communists. But there are other, but their policy of the United States, she thinks and advocates the thing, only declares his views expressed in recognizing occasions. If a person's activities of communists may be a communist, supports organizations, a communist, a person consistent in a communist public, communist by the department. If a person defends communist nation, she may advocate views in his nation while reflect communist teaching, defends the activist communist by the be a communist.
have used 2 healthy graduate students in psychology as subjects, but time permits us to show only one. On the first experimental day, Ronnie, aged 22 and weighing 75 kilograms, was given 100 gamma of LSD-25 in distilled water orally. This is a very small quantity of LSD-25, but all investigators report that it is enough to produce a temporary psychotic dissociation state in any healthy adult. The scene which follows shows what happened to Ronnie after he drank the LSD-25 solution. And if we will follow the clock, we will be able to note time intervals accurately. Now, how do you feel after an hour?
Like I should be getting sick.
Almost a nausea?
Almost.
Anything else?
Dryness of throat, but it feels as though if I did take a drink or something, I wouldn't keep it. And there is I have to maintain my attention. It's an effort to talk to you right now. Reality.
Bill, when you were talking to Ronnie, a while ago we separated you. Do you have any idea why you did that?
No, it's, yes I do. You just separated to see how it would react.
You felt, though, that we were separating you to see how you alone reacted. You felt that we were watching you, or that nothing more?
No, you haven't been watching me on the radio.
You don't think we're trying to pull anything on you? Well, why did you assume that particular line of inquiry was wrong about the separation of two boys? Because I felt at the time of separation that Ronnie did have some very real paranoid feelings and felt as though we were separating the two of them so we could spy on Ronnie alone. And yet, when he sat down before the camera, he didn't voice any of those paranoid ideas. No, I think it's interesting that he was able to mobilize his defenses and to deny that he did have those feelings at the time. I feel that they were really there, and I think he did show other evidences of that. Ronnie looked tired, eh?
Yeah.
Have you got anything particular to report? Do you feel slowed up? How was your mood? Are you happy? Feel good? Did you feel like you're getting a good
apprehensive. Do you feel as though you're in contact with this situation and with us and with people around you? Ronnie, have you been sleeping for the last few minutes? No, not exactly. You've been lying down on the bed. Are you thinking about anything in particular? What did I ask you then?
present,
I wasn't aware at the time of any pleasantness or unpleasantness, and I'm still not aware of
well, Ronnie, do you think the picture showed the whole story of your LSD 25 experience?
not by a long shot.
The day after the experiment, you wrote out something about it. Would you mind reading a part of it?
Not at all. I had very little by way of visual hallucination, but what I consider the important thing that, well, what's the word to describe it? Dissociated, plagued, pounded, weighed. All three are inadequate to describe the horrible state I was in, all of them put together. Perhaps the central thing was suspicion and fear that you would find out about me, or perhaps think things that were not true. My overwhelming concern became, are they doing this to find out how I'll act? Are they deliberately rattling that damn paper to make me angry? On and on and on this went. And, as is no doubt obvious, I decided to do as little as possible, so I wouldn't make any mistakes. It was my confusion, the fact that I had to study the situation, to be careful that, shall I say, racked me up.
I believe that there was still a trace of this suspiciousness when we took you home that night. Would you mind telling us about the television experience?
It's hard to believe, but I joined the family to look at television in the living room, and I'll be damned if there wasn't talking in loaded phrases, too. That made my reason take another step toward control, and I felt better.
Well, thank you very much, Ronnie. This essentially paranoid type of reaction pattern has been described repeatedly by investigators of LSD-25 psychosis. During the next week, Ronnie was given a 5-milligram tablet of our new blocking agent twice daily, and one final tablet on the morning of the second experimental day. Our clinical experience with Marathon convinced us that this compound was quite different from any other central nervous system stimulant that we had known before, and we were interested in the effect of some of its isomers. When the nitrogen atom is moved from the alpha to the gamma position, an entirely new compound results pharmacologically. And it is this gamma isomer of Marathon which we have used as a blocking agent against LSD-25 psychosis. We were led to its use because of some dramatic, though inconsistent results we had obtained when we used it on patients with schizophrenia. And now, let us return to Ronnie and the second experimental day. Good morning to you. I believe you've been taking one 5-milligram tablet of this compound twice daily throughout the last week. That's right. And you took one this morning. All right, now here we are with 1/10 of a milligram of LSD in distilled water, so down the hatch. So, Ronnie, does it seem to be a half an hour since you took the LSD?
Yes, sir.
Have you got anything to report to us in this first half hour?
Nothing. This is something to report there.
It's been an hour since you've taken LSD. What can you report?
Well, now I can definitely tell that I have taken it. But my thoughts seem to be in good shape so far.
Well, Ronnie, it's been an hour and a half since you took the LSD, and I'm increasing restlessness.
Extreme restlessness, yes, sir. But my thoughts are in good control. I'm much more confident at this time than I was.
It's been 2 hours now since you've taken the LSD.
Yes,
There's been no distortion of time since. Now, let's ask you first how your body feels.
it feels fine. There's no sensations.
Now, you've been restless. There are a lot of patients who are unable to lay down. Now, what can we Well, time will tell. But we've been quite impressed with our clinical results so far in some cases of acute schizophrenia, some cases of alcoholic hallucinosis, some senile hallucinatory states, and even a few cases of chronic schizophrenia. They represent about 60 cases in all. And furthermore, we are continuing our experimental work with hallucinogenic drugs such as mescaline, cannabis, adrenochrome, etc. Are there any other questions? Yes. Can MER-17 be used as benefit? Yes, and it's very interesting too. On December the 18th, 1954, Ronnie drank a second 100 gamma of LSD-25 without protection. 4.5 hours later, he was in an almost catatonic state. At that time, 10 milligrams of MER-17 was given intravenously and repeated in 15 minutes. This brought about a complete cessation and dissolution of his LSD-25 psychosis. Look at the picture. Tell me anything about what you have been thinking about. This was painful. Mom, how long has it been since you took the LSD? Are you upset? Are you muddled? Can you tell me anything about this thinking? Can you tell me anything about your thinking?
Pleasant to be back, I guess.
Bill, is there any change in his blood pressure?
No, his blood pressure and pulse remain essentially the same.
Fine, it's been 30 minutes since we did the first injection. 15 Now, let's try to say how you feel now. I know it's hard.
Well, I haven't yet a foundation from which I can see,
Do you think you feel differently than you did 30 minutes ago when you walked in this room?
yes, I guess I do, very much so.
Now, Ronnie, it's been an hour since you gave your first injection. I believe things have sort of come back into the proper perspective for you. Now, when you were under the LSD, you wanted to be in that room alone, and you were fearful that there might be some sort of invasion of your privacy, your integrity. Is that right? And now that's all cleared up. You've got things straightened away. Are you your normal self now, Mr.
As I can tell, I am, yes. You will probably be interested in my subjective reaction to this last experiment. The first and third experiments were similar, of course. Complete and insoluble confusion and anxiety reigned, and the knowledge that its cause was a drug was my sole and small reassurance. One hallucination was that of lying flat on a slowly revolving cloud-like object. There were other similar objects all around, touching gently and revolving in view. I just rolled slowly down into the depths of this arrangement. Another one I recall is that of a flower bed type of pattern, or perhaps a purposeless pinball machine, with the lights arranged in rows and columns. The lights, or flowers, were growing, then bursting in irregular fashion, one at the left, one at the third, and so on. Next occurred the phenomenon that has happened both times I lost, and perhaps I've neglected to mention it previously. Things seemed to clear up, and I felt sane, yet I knew I wasn't. I seemed to wake up to a new world. The same situation, the same people and environment, and yet everything, that is my mental state, my life, has been